What is good, everybody? I know it might be winter where you are at, it's winter here, but let's take a journey back in time to those warmer, sunnier months where the sun is shining and the trails, they are flowing. I had the chance to go to California earlier this year, and I had about a half-day window available of free time. So I snuck on up to Snow Summit Bike Park in Big Bear, California, rented a DH bike, and had the chance to try out this epic, awesome bike park. I was really worried, honestly. This trip didn't have a whole lot of free time available, and it was looking like rain up in Big Bear that whole week. And I have heard Snow Summit can shut down for lightning, and so I was really hoping for a weather window, and thankfully, I got it. It did, bring the rainstorms in. I had time for 4 runs, and then lightning did shut things down, but it was a perfect chance to test out this really cool bike park and get to try a trek session for the very first time. If you're new to the channel, or maybe haven't watched from the earlier days, I used to race mountain bikes growing up. I still ride quite a bit, haven't as much as I wanted to the last few years. But through all those years of racing, mainly cross country and Super D, which is now enduro, I never had the chance to try a downhill bike, only like trail and enduro bikes and XC stuff. So this was a double whammy of a day of like Dragoon's childhood dreams kind of coming true. Getting to try Big Bear and getting to try a DH bike for the very first time. Now, even though I only... Oh, nice. Oh, that was the other thing. Everybody was super nice. I'll talk about that later in the video, but I don't know if I've ever been to a bike park where so many people were so chill and nice and would join up for laps and give advice. Like, I really thought the vibe was awesome at this place. So, I did have a rule on this trip. I could not fall, get injured, none of that stuff, so I stuck to the blues. It was a new bike, and like I said, only bike park day this entire season. Hadn't been riding a whole lot. I have heard Party Wave is like the sickest trail out there. Next trip, I'm coming. I'm gonna ride it. But I stuck to Blue Steel and Turtle as the main trails for those 4 runs. Props to the trail crew there, because even doing just 4 runs, I felt incredibly comfortable on those trails. I don't want to say it felt easy, because some of the features, like, yeah, they're mellow, but they feel mellow because they're built so well. And that comes from a really experienced trail crew. Highly recommend checking this place out if you're looking for a very fun bike park day. Testing out that trek session, oh my gosh, what a sweet bike, man. I will say it was incredibly overkill for the blue trails that I was riding. I knew it was going to be overkill, but I loved it. I mean, it didn't radically transform the feeling, and I definitely think for these kind of trails, being on a trail bike would be a little bit like more optimal, but man, it just wanted to rip it and grip it and go. Like, I wanted to take this thing down some nasty, chunky single track. As cool as bike park riding is, and it is amazing, like, so many people are testing out biking for the first time, and they probably never would. I do kind of miss the gnarly single track days where, some ski resorts still have it, but you have these nasty, technical, really chunky trails that you get to go and experience, whereas nowadays it's more like a BMX track down the hill. It's great, it's fun, it's its own unique thing, and it has gotten a lot more people involved in the sport, but hopefully in 5-10 years, most of the bike parks have a mix of these sick, awesome manicured bobsled runs down the hill, along with some of that old school single track chunky gnarliness that I grew up racing and riding. Now, talking about like just the vibe, as I mentioned, I'm getting stoked on Turtle Trail's flow. The vibe was really chill, and immediately from like the first lift ride up, I had people wanting to take laps together, talking me through where to go, what's fun. I don't know if I've ever been to a place that had such like an inviting vibe right off the start, and I don't know if that's just like a Snow Summit thing or if I hit it at the right day and met the right people, but would 100% recommend going out and trying these kind of things. It is winter time. There won't be a whole lot of riding on the channel, I'm afraid, unless we sneak away to some warmer climates, because snow has flown and everything's pretty muddy at the moment. Honestly, like, the downhill bike thing was a total dream growing up, because when I was racing, all the videos, watching a bunch of Clay Porter videos back in the day, Synopsis, Hypnosis, Alex Rankin stuff, if you ever saw the Earth films, it was all guys just ripping it up on DH bikes, and so it was always a dream to try it out. And I will say, like, yeah, this thing felt ridiculously capable and fun. I was a little surprised because, like, honestly, trail bikes nowadays, if you have a trail bike made since 2018 onward, you have so much capability in what you can do as a rider, and those bikes now, it's nuts. I guess I thought it was going to be a more, like, radical, oh my gosh, this thing is unreal. But trail bikes have really merged the gap in many ways, and I think you pretty much can get away as a rider having just one bike. And the majority of the people out there are on trail bikes. A lot of Yeti, like 150s, 160s, tons of people, you know, riding on YTs. And so it is very cool to see in the last 15 years of biking, somebody who can just own a trail bike, take it out, go do a single track cross-country ride, and then throw it on the lift over at a bike park and go hit up all of this stuff. I'm pretty pumped on like how the sport has changed and grown over the last few years. The bottom section of where all these runs kind of merge, if you're doing the blue runs, had this really sick big banked berm that you'll see coming up here in a second. I didn't hit this hip on the right until like the last run of the day. It's so funny too, like you see it on run 2, run 3, and then like 4th run, you're like, oh yeah, I think I can do that. Notice the clouds are starting to roll in, but their berms were like perfect. I've ridden at a lot of bike parks, and I gotta say, like, the curvature of some of these things, it's hard to describe. Maybe it doesn't come across in the video, but it just feels like so easy. No brake checks. Everything was just flowing. But yeah, around the corner from this thing is like a toilet bowl of like, I don't know, 6 or 8 berms back and forth. They're ultra tight berms. Felt a little tight on the DH bike, but they were so fun, man. Like, I don't know if I've ever ridden something like this. Maybe back in the day, Sol Vista used to kind of do these kind of features where it's just back to back to back. But I don't know, man. It was pretty sick. Also, there's some massive bomb holes from brake bumps. You know, when you get to the end of bike park season and thousands of people have ripped down the hill, sometimes those braking bumps just get really, really, like, torn up. They did a great job manicuring that place because I know it's dry, like ultra dry out there. So to make sure that they were able to keep things smooth takes a lot of work. And I think I will end it with one clip of the rain coming in as the day sort of wrapped up. But yeah, I would highly recommend check out Snow Summit. It was a ton of fun. I will be back out there again. If you're a local, give a shout out. It was a very fun trip getting to see it. And if I can sneak away to warmer climates, I will get some more biking on the channel. But yeah, that place was fantastic, man. If you're living out in the Southern California area, make the trek, man. Give it a shot because that was super cool. The runs aren't super long. It's not like a crazy, like, long day on a run down to the bottom. But you can have a ton of fun there. Lifts are quick, too. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. If you ride as well, tell me. Or if you're interested, I've got some videos on how to start mountain biking that will be listed in the description, too. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon.